Hey there, animal enthusiasts. Happy New Year, y'all. Welcome to Bonnie's Fun Facts. I'm Ella, bringing you the wackiest and wildest animal facts you never knew you needed in your life. Let's dive right in. 1. Scotland's national animal is the unicorn? Yep, you heard that right. According to the National Trust for Scotland, the unicorn has long been the VIP, very important pony of Celtic mythology. This legendary beast symbolizes power, innocence, and purity. Basically the personality of Scotland in mythical form. The unicorn's twisted white horn was said to have magical properties. It could purify poisoned water and heal the sick and wounded. Talk about a multifunctional appendage, but don't let its glittery vibes fool you. Unicorns are also fiercely proud, independent, and impossible to tame, just like the Scottish spirit. That's why Scotland's ancestors crowned the unicorn as their national animal. It wasn't just for the aesthetics, though, let's admit. They're fabulous. It was a symbol of hope and determination to stay true to themselves, even during turbulent times. Oh, and about those chains you always see on unicorns. Nope. It's not a passive-aggressive nod to Scotland's relationship with England during the 18th century. The chains are actually a flex. Back in the day, it was believed that only kings had the power to tame a unicorn. So, those chain unicorns, they're basically saying, we're Scottish royalty, and we can tame the untamable. Respect. While the rest of us are out here choosing eagles or lions, Scotland said, no, let's go mythical. And honestly, I can't blame them. Who would want a magical horned horse representing their country? Number 2. Giraffes versus lightning. Okay, tall folks beware of storms. Giraffes are 30 times more likely to be struck by lightning than humans. That's a shocking fact? Literally. Sorry. Giraffes being the tallest in the savannah comes with some serious weather risks. Number 3, guinea pigs in Switzerland. Listen up. In Switzerland, owning just one guinea pig is illegal. Why? Because these little furballs are so social. It's considered animal abuse if they don't have a buddy. Switzerland said, no piggy left behind. Respect. 4, shrimp hearts are in their heads. Say what? Shrimp don't just have their hearts in their heads. They've got their stomachs and nerve cords there too. Basically, their head is the ultimate VIP section for vital organs. Talk about headstrong. Number 5, tigers have striped skin. Here's a mind blower. A tiger's stripes aren't just on their fur, they're on their skin too. Nature really went all out to make sure these big cats stay stylish, even when they're shaved. Stripes for days. 6, the bumblebee bat is tiny but mighty. Yes, meet the world's smallest mammal. The bumblebee bat. These little guys weigh less than a penny, just 0.05 ounces. They're so small, you might mistake them for, well, an actual bumblebee. But bumblebee bats, also known as Crassionycterus thonglongi, make their homes in limestone caves nestled along rivers in western Thailand and southeastern Myanmar. These tiny bats feed on small insects and spiders, including beetles, flies, and barkless. Known as Kitty's hog-nosed bats, they have long, narrow wings that let them zip through dense forests, hunting insects with precision. With sharp teeth and strong jaws, they can easily crush tough exoskeletons. Aerial feeders by nature, bumblebee bats catch their prey mid-air, often foraging along bamboo treetops. Beyond their fascinating traits, these bats are a natural pest control, helping manage insect populations in their habitats. Buzz, buzz. Little bat friends. Number 7, sloths hold their breath longer than dolphins. Get this. Sloths can hold their breath for a whopping 40 minutes. Meanwhile, dolphins have to resurface every 10 minutes. Who knew these slow-moving tree huggers were secretly lung capacity legends? Number 8. The smaller the animal, the slower they can process time. Here's a twist. The tinier the creature, the slower it experiences time. Yup, mice, lizards, and other small animals process the world at a different pace than your average dog or horse. So, next time you see a hamster on a wheel, just know it might be running faster than you think in its little hamster brain. Number 9, Mike the Headless Chicken, the survivor. This sounds like something out of a horror movie, but it's a true story. Mike, a chicken from the 40s, lived without a head for a jaw-dropping 18 months. His brainstem and jugular vein were still intact, allowing him to survive. But don't try this at home, folks. This is one rare feat that probably won't be repeated anytime soon. This miracle began on the 10th of September 1945. When farmer Lloyd Olson and his wife Clara were wrapping up a routine day of slaughtering chickens on their farm in Fruita, Colorado. But when Lloyd swung his hatchet down on one of the 40 or so chickens, he created not just dinner, but a legend. Unlike the rest of the doomed birds, this particular chicken refused to flop over and call it quits. No, this plucky fowl got up, kicked around, and acted like it had places to be. Confused yet intrigued, the Olsons placed the feisty anomaly in an old apple box for the night. When Lloyd stepped outside the next morning, the bird was still alive, strutting its headless stuff like nothing happened. Soon, Miracle Mike the Headless Chicken became a full-blown phenomenon. Lloyd and Clara took their feathered celebrity to Salt Lake City, where baffled scientists put Mike through a series of tests. Despite their best efforts, and a few rumors of repeat experiments on other chickens, no one could fully explain how Mike managed to live, much less thrive. Life magazine featured the Headless Wonder, and savvy promoter Hope Wade took Mike on a whirlwind US tour. Crowds flocked to see him, paying good money for a peek at this biological marvel. Clara meticulously documented Mike's escapades in a scrapbook, now treasured by the family. The fame didn't come without its share of oddities. Letters poured in from around the country, some critical, others bizarre. One Alaskan writer even tried to barter for Mike's drumstick in exchange for a wooden leg. But Mike was more than a sideshow. He was a survivor. Lloyd fed him diligently with an eyedropper, dripping sustenance directly into his esophagus. His determination inspired Fruita, Colorado, to establish a yearly festival in his honor. The Olsons' great-grandson, Troy Waters, proudly poses with Mike's commemorative statue, a reminder of their family's unlikely claim to fame. Today, Mike's legend endures with a dedicated website and ongoing fascination. It's easy to imagine his descendants clucking and bragging to other chickens over their ancestors' exploits. How he faced off against humanity, lost his head, and still came out on top. Talk about a true poultry historical figure. Bravo, Mike. Sadly, after a whirlwind of tours and fame, disaster struck in Phoenix, Arizona in the spring of 1947. That's where it died. In Phoenix, Waters says, marking the end of the incredible run of Miracle Mike the Headless Chicken. 10. The world's oldest dog was a true senior citizen at 29.5 years. Bluey, an Australian cattle dog, is the undisputed champ when it comes to dog longevity. While most dogs live between 10 and 15 years, Bluey made it to a jaw-dropping 29.5 years. This dog was living the life, likely barking about the good old days when bones were raw, yards were endless, and no one had to sit for selfies. Now, let's rewind to 1910. Bluey was adopted as a wee pup by Les Hall of Rochester, Victoria. From then on, she wasn't just snoozing in the sun. Bluey had a career. That's right, she worked cattle and sheep for nearly 20 years. Imagine clocking in daily with hooves instead of coworkers and still having time to outlive nearly 3 generations of her peers. Bluey passed on November 14th, 1939, leaving behind an impressive legacy. A whopping 29 years, 5 months, and 7 days of adventures and tail wags. That's the equivalent of 161.5 human years. No wonder the folks at Guinness World Records crowned her the reigning queen of doggy longevity. Fast forward nearly a century, and along came Bobby, a purebred Rafeiro do Alentejo from Portugal, who sniffed out Bluey's throne in February 23. Bobby strutted into the spotlight as the new world's oldest dog at 30 years and 266 days. An impressive feat that had dog lovers howling with amazement. But wait, the plot thickens. A few raised eyebrows later, Guinness decided to dig deeper. Bobby's records weren't adding up, and after a CSI canine investigation involving vets, media outlets, and the Portuguese pet database, the evidence was as shaky as a dachshund on roller skates. Microchip data? Inconclusive. Birth certificate? MIA. And the Portuguese government database? Let's just say it had more holes than a backyard dug by a bored Labrador. By February 2024, Bobby's crown had officially slipped. Guinness World Records issued a press release declaring that the evidence couldn't support Bobby's claim. With Bobby sidelined, guess who reclaimed the title? That's right. Bluey, the OG, the legend, the Dolly Parton of the dog world, was back on top. Don't mess with an Australian cattle dog's legacy. Bluey didn't just live life, she dominated it. And while Bobby gave it a valiant effort, there's only one queen of canine longevity. Long live Bluey. Again. Number 11. Cream Puff, the cat who lived 38 years and 3 days. Crime Puff holds the crown as the world's oldest cat, clocking in a whopping 38 years and 3 days. That's like a human living well past 160. Cats usually live around 15 years, so Creme Puff was essentially the Benjamin Button of the feline world. Of course, the saying that cats have 9 lives is just a myth. But this extraordinary cat seemed to have other plans. Like all animals, cats only get 1 life, but Creme Puff was determined to make it count. Perhaps, he thought, if a dog can live to 28 years, there's no way I'm letting him outlast me? Or, if you like, out-9-live me. Talk about a perfectly long life. 12. Octopuses. No tentacles here, just arms. Contrary to popular belief, octopuses don't have tentacles, they have arms, 8 of them to be exact. So, the next time you're at the aquarium, make sure to refer to them as arms. They'll appreciate the respect. After all, they're octopuses, not octotentacled. 13. Ants. Tiny creatures with no lungs? Wait, what? Ants don't have lungs? Yup, you heard that right. Ants breathe through a system of tiny tubes called tracheae, which deliver oxygen straight to their bodies. No lungs? No problem. With all that nonstop running around, you'd think they'd need a breather, but nope. These little workaholics are perfectly fine without one. Number 14. T-Rex had feathers? Yup. This is not a bluff. The mighty T-Rex most likely had feathers. Their ancestors definitely sported feathers, so it's possible that these terrifying dinosaurs were fluffier than they look in the movies. Imagine a feathered T-Rex chasing after you. Now that's a real nightmare. 15. Snails have 1,000 teeth? That's right. Snails have teeth, a lot of them. Depending on the species, they can have anywhere from 1,000 to 12,000 teeth in their tiny mouths. It's a good thing they're so slow, or they'd be munching through everything in sight. Number 16. A horse can have more than 1 horsepower. Absolutely. Did you know that the phrase horsepower actually undersells the mighty horse? 1 strong horse can generate up to a staggering 24 horsepower. Who knew those galloping giants were turbocharged? Forget sports cars. Imagine a stable full of these powerhouse ponies. 17. Starfish have only heads, with little to no trunk or tail. Don't let the name fool you. Starfish are more than just a pretty face. Their bodies are actually their heads. It's a bit mind-boggling, but that's the magic of the sea. They can regenerate limbs, so maybe we should all aspire to be a little more like starfish. Number 18. Cat urine glows under black light. If you've ever wondered about your cat's nighttime behavior, here's a fun fact. Cat urine actually glows under a black light. Why? Because of the phosphorus in it. It's like your cat is secretly marking their territory with glowing graffiti. 19. The heartbeat of a blue whale can be heard from 2 miles away. The blue whale's heart is so massive, you could hear its thud from 2 miles away. Talk about making waves, and here's the kicker. That heart tips the scales at a whopping 400 pounds. Feeling a little insignificant yet? Don't worry, we all do. And finally, number 20. An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain. Ostriches are living proof that sometimes size really does matter. At least for their eyes. These massive peepers are so large, they actually outweigh the bird's brain. With long legs, big bodies, and eyes even bigger than their brains, they've got the perfect view of the world around them. But don't expect them to solve any complex puzzles anytime soon. There's no brainpower competition here. No. Look at that. Absolutely no brainpower competition here. No. And there you have it. The wild, the wacky, and the downright wonderful world of animal facts. If you love this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow fact junkies. This is Ella signing off. Stay curious, my friends.